Guys, thank you for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast, where we talk all about them Pittsburgh Pirates and that. My name is Josh. Today is September 4th. We are back. The first official show in September for us. Since I last recorded a show, the Bucs have been hot. Last night's win sealed another series win. We like that. And if you can hear, I am not actually sick. I know that that's happened several times this season. I just don't have a voice. I just flat out don't have one. We're yelling a lot this weekend. Got to get the clear voice spray going. That's how we do. Anyway, another shutout. Count them. That's 17 now. The Pirates already led MLB in shutouts this season, tacking on another one. The Tigers and the Padres both have 15. Pirates taking another step away from that. Unfortunately for the Pirates, they also are tied with the Guardians for being shut out the most times as well, which is 15. But that didn't happen Wednesday night. Ashcraft, Burroughs, Sisk, Matson, and Santana shut out the LA Dodgers to clinch a series win and go one game up in the season series as well. If they sweep the Dodgers, they'll have also taken the season series, or else if they do not sweep the series, they'll be tied 3-3. Ashcraft goes 3 innings, just 2 hits, but he did walk 4 guys. Had a jam in this game or two, pitched out of it, 4 strikeouts, no runs. Then Burroughs throws 3 of his own. 2 hits, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Sisk goes an inning, a hit and a walk. Matson an inning, a strikeout, and Santana an inning with 2 strikeouts. And the Pirates, again, so I was going to look at the Ashcraft threw 71 pitches in just 3 innings. So it wasn't all easy for Braxton Ashcraft in this one. However, he was able to avoid giving up runs. He lowers his ERA as a starter down to 1.08. And I believe it would be 6 or 7 starts. Obviously, this would only go in 3 innings. But again, if you doubted this pitching staff, you're probably raising your eyebrows right now in surprise, or your hand and admitting like, all right, it's here. And they're doing a good job of protecting the rotation as well. It's not that they've, going 3 innings. Like if they had tried to push him to 5, it probably gets ugly. And the Pirates have done a great job of kind of putting that on the bullpen. And sometimes they get bit by that. But all in all, when you're looking at what the future of this team is and what it could be next year and so on and so forth, you're looking at starting pitching to be the driving force of what you want to build here. So I think it's critical that they do it this way. As much as I'd much rather see a guy go out there and throw 6 innings and shove, it's hard to argue with what they're doing right now. They're saving arms as much as they can. They're doing their best, but they're also the situations that they're putting them in makes them successful and gives them an opportunity to be productive and to continue to learn along the way. So I don't actually have a problem with it. Ashcraft and Burroughs getting through 6 innings as a piggyback makes a lot of sense, and it does a lot of good for both the outcome of the game and the futures of those guys, getting them the cup of coffee they need. Skeens, Ashcraft, Keller, Burroughs, Oviedo, Majinski, and Chandler, going with that group of guys, have combined for a 3.22 ERA in the last 30 days. And that includes Keller's 6 ERA. I noted that they'd been shut out 15 times. This is interesting. 13 of those happened to be before the All-Star break, which included the Seattle shutout of the 4th, 5th, and 6th series against Seattle. Then July 25th and August 12th were the only other 2 on this side of the All-Star break. that this team was actually shut out. On the other side, 17 of the 17 shutouts, 10 of them were prior to the All-Star break and 7 since. So they've shut out 7 teams since the All-Star break, which is a lot shorter time period than before the All-Star break, and only been shut out twice. So they're definitely on the better side of things at that point. After losing 11 of 12 back in July, I think it went up to the July 20th. Yeah, they've been the second best team in the NL, tied with the Phillies, who just lost their game last night to the Brewers, who's the best team in the NL since that period. 24-16 since July 21st, with a 16-run differential, which includes a 14-0 beating by the Brewers. So it could even be higher without that game. But that game existed, so plus 16-run differential. It's just different from the rest of the season. That they've been playing good ball. And we can get into the offense another day because there are things definitely to talk about on the offensive side. There are guys to talk about. There are certain things that we're watching and seeing, and I'm gonna try to run some data and see if I can see some trends and things, and see if I can figure out what it is that's actually clicking. Obviously Jared Triolo, right? But besides that, because you could also say that like Brian Reynolds has been a much better hitter on this side, and Spencer Horwitz and whatever. I mean, like I said, we can go into that another day. But Paul Skeens goes against Blake Snell tonight. And, if you're facing the Pirates right now, I don't care who you are, it's going to be hard to score against. Paul Skeens, the greatest of those. He's in pursuit of a Cy Young Award in his second year in Major League Baseball. I understand they're all Major League teams, but pitching against the Dodgers here might be the biggest test down the stretch. He's pitched against them before, and so let's see how he can attack these hitters and see if they can get a sweep out of this. If he can pitch effectively, most importantly. We're in the final month, guys. I personally don't like that. I like baseball, but I do understand this has been a frustrating season. And I think there's a lot of people that are kind of eager to turn the page and see what they do in the off season. And possibly if you're a baseball fan, then there's a lot of good baseball going down the stretch to see who makes it to the postseason, and then also to watch postseason games. So I am excited for that. So a little bit bittersweet because I love watching baseball. There's only 22 games left in the season, guys. 22 games. And we talked about them since July 21st. They're playing at a 600 winning percentage. They've got some good teams to go up against. I don't know that they're necessarily gonna hang 600, right? But if they go 500, 11-11, they end up 74-89. Obviously not good enough. Obviously not what we wanted at the beginning of this season. Not what I would have thought they would have been, which would have been much closer to 500. Keeping pace at where they're at right now still just gets them to 76-87. 76-87. And I think a lot of you, that's not right, is it? No, because at 13-9, 11-11, how do we get? I feel like that's too many. What am I doing here? That's 163 games, so can't be right. I must have something off there in my math. They are currently 63-77. I think I put them at 63-80-78. I did. That was the problem. It says 78 on my chart over here. So yeah, let's take one off of that. It's going to be 74-88, and then 76-86. Anyway, 76-86 sounds pretty familiar. It is the 2023 and 2024 records of the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's keeping pace with where they're at now. They could possibly finish a third straight year with the same record if they continue to play the way they are right now. With those 22 games, they'd have to lose all of them. Is that where we're at now? Now that I've got the math wrong, I'm like really doubting myself in every way. If they lose them all, they lose 99 games. If they lose every single game from here on out, they lose 99 games. I don't care about the 100 games bar as much as some people do. Once you've lost over 95, I mean, it's not a huge difference in my opinion. However, I was guaranteed by a lot of fans that this team would lose 100 games. They guaranteed me that this team would lose 100 games this season. I guess they're pretty wrong, right? I cannot see this team losing 22 straight games, and even if they did, it's only 99. Can they even avoid 90 losses? If they go 500, they will. So they'll be at 88. So they can even be a game under, and they can avoid that. So they probably can. Will it matter? No, not really. That's just not the point. That's just not the point. I mentioned at the onset that we did a lot of yelling and whatever, and my voice is feeling the effects of that. Jake and I are back. We had our Labor Day weekend softball tournament, national softball tournament in Cincinnati. I took a couple days off. Glad to be back here. But the voice was a lot worse. We yelled a lot, so that's why we're here. I'll make this quick so I can say it once. I've had some people asking. We got second place in the tournament. We went 3-0 on Saturday. We were defending champions, for those who didn't know. We did win it last year. This is my 14th year going. That was the first time we won last year. Lucky number 13, right? We lost the first game Monday morning, and we had to play back-to-back games out of the losers bracket all day. We made it back to the championship game and lost in the championship against the same team who knocked us into the losers bracket. We won in 8 innings. We played 7-inning games, and then we lost by 1 run in the final game of the championship to take second place. So kind of a bummer in that way, but it was a fantastic weekend. We had to play 6 straight games to get back to where we were. Well, 4 straight to get back, but all in all, 6 straight games on Monday. It was a wild ride. It was a very difficult thing to do, and it was a lot of fun to do it. We had an awesome time with a great group of men playing on our team. It really was an awesome time. Played teams from Alabama, Ohio, Tennessee, Michigan, Florida, a couple of them from Ohio and Michigan. And if you're curious, the last thing I'll say, I hit 656 on the weekend. Jake hit 684. Now you know where we're at. I'm very sore. Indy's in Columbus this week. I'm going to try to make it down at some point, probably just 1 game this week. All the players are in MLB right now, so we'll see what I make it down for. I'd like to see Flores play anyway. But anyway, Bucs go for the sweep against the Dodgers tonight. We'll talk again tomorrow. Let's go Bucs.
Thanks for listening to the Bridge to Buctober podcast. Subscribing to your platform of choice is the best way to be notified for new episodes. And now, new episodes every weekday. Remember, live shows with my dad and Uncle Jake are Sundays at 9 p.m. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and join them in the live chat every Sunday. Follow them on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bridge2 Buctober. Clear the deck, cannonball coming, and let's go Bucs.